It seems like right now everybody's focusing on Ariana Grande and Wicked, but when I see Ariana Grande, I can't help but to think about Pete Davidson. I know I'm probably the only one out here, but their relationship still sticks in my mind. And I've always been curious about Pete Davidson. We've talked about his story, his upbringing, his issues with addiction, and now we're going to talk about his new feud with SNL because he's kind of in this weird space where they like him. Well, maybe some of them like him, but a lot of them don't, including Colin Jost. Now, I am a viewer of SNL. I grew up watching it, which is how I was introduced to Pete Davidson, which is why I thought it was so crazy when they started dating him and Ariana Grande. But Colin is a big part of the show. Their update every week is my favorite part of the show. I always go to YouTube to go and watch it. But it looks like Colin has ended his relationship with Pete after a decade of friendship, and now he refuses to be in the same room as him. I mean, that's a really big statement. You have to despise someone and feel like you are so powerful yourself to demand to not be in the same room as someone else. Quote, Pete and Colin can't be in 30 Rock together. Something big happened and Colin is now refusing to be in the same building, let alone the same room as Pete. So I wonder what the hell happened between these two. What kind of fight? Colin doesn't want to be in association with Pete. Pete, who was seen recently in his hometown of Staten Island, just got out of rehab. He goes to rehab pretty often. And I don't even mean that in a shady way. He's admitted he's not mentally well, and he tends to go to rehab pretty often. Like, he kind of feels it coming. So then he goes to rehab, which I think is actually very mature. I mean, I don't know what rehab is like, but is it like, I mean, I'm sure when you're a celebrity, it's kind of like vacation. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go to rehab. And you go and just get like IVs and like fruits. And I don't know. I mean, obviously that's not how it really is, but that's what my mind likes to think.
I'm just going to get cozy in here, but essentially these kind of articles have been going around for a couple months now. And I'm just wondering if it was like a buildup to reveal Pete's tattoo removals, because I went and saw his show in July, at the beginning of July, like right before he went to rehab, and he was wearing like a big puffy jacket in the middle of July. But yeah, these kind of articles have been circulating for a couple months, and I just found it ironic. There was also no celebrity blind item.
Now, another insider is going against our original source and saying that there's nothing going on between them. The two are just busy and don't talk as much as they used to. I'm just not buying that. They're definitely trying to downplay this. Quote, people move on. They work on other things, other relationships, and they're not as close as the people they once worked with. This other source added that these two actually purchased something rather strange together. So how could they be in a feud when they are going in on big purchases? It actually looks like these two purchased a decommissioned Staten Island ferry. This is so weird. So yeah, Pete Davidson and Colin purchased a ferry named MV John in January 2022 for $280,000. They partnered with Paul Italia, a comedy club owner, to transform the vessel into an entertainment venue. In March 2024, their architect revealed the project cost about $34 million. $34 million. Ouch. However, the venture has faced challenges, including logistical hurdles, and it looks like a lot of issues with permits. Makes sense because it's like an odd structure. In September 2024, the ferry was used as a fashion show runway for Tommy Hilfiger.
The Tommy Hilfiger New York Fashion Week show is literally on Pete Davidson and Colin Jost's ferry boat.
Recently, Colin joked about the purchase as the dumbest decision he's ever made. So, dumbest decision he's ever made. I actually don't believe the second insider then, that everything is cool if he's saying this is stupid. Also, how are you going to purchase something for $280,000 and then it's $34 million to make it come alive? So as you guys saw, they are able to do some fashion shows there, but it is far from being a floating venue, a hotel with bars and restaurants. It's unclear how the pair's rift will ultimately impact their investment.
This is why idiots should not be allowed to do things.
Yeah.
Pete and I bought this boat, and then like there's so many immediate decisions you have to make, and one of them is like, well, you have to create a financial entity to deal with this boat. And so we're on a call, and I'm just like, all right, well, how about Titanic 2? You know, and everyone on the call is like, oh, that's great, let's do that. So that goes into a contract, right? And so now suddenly we're looking for insurance, which you have to buy because it's a giant death trap boat. So you have to get insurance, and then every insurance company's like, it's called Titanic 2?
Now, people on social media are reacting. This person writes, there's been plenty of warning signs with Pete, despite his greatness as a player on SNL. I hope his friends or ex-friends are still trying to save him before one day we wake up to a sad headline, which, wow, what a dark turn. But we know that he has struggled a lot with his mental. And shoot, I'm sure dating Kim Kardashian did not help the situation. This person writes, Pete is diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and then he keeps consuming the wrong effing drugs. I was a mess for years too, but now I take my medication and I don't piss off my loved ones. Another person added, I'm guessing that purchase of that money pit of a ferry they made together is what caused the rift between them. I bet Pete wasn't living up to his end of the deal and putting up money to make this a floating hotel, which actually that's such a good, like, you just connected the dots. Love that. I mean, truly, it probably is down to this purchase, especially because Colin is speaking so badly of it. I mean, you've got a platform. I don't think investors are going to like saying this was the dumbest thing you've ever done. Another person writes, it doesn't seem like Colin would be this dramatic, but I also imagine Pete is a hard business partner since he obviously has a long battle with addiction. Another person writes that Pete is cooked. He's done in the entertainment industry. He was handed every opportunity and protected by powerful people, but he squandered it all and burnt his bridges along the way. Now, it looks like Pete's mother has been trying to help him out, but there's been no growth or update since he's left rehab. An insider close to Pete told the US Sun that it looks like he's disappeared from his close friends' lives, and his Hollywood pals have turned their backs on him, adding that Pete has pretty much gotten rid of everyone who once surrounded him. Which I question, is that Pete's doing, or is that the people around him who are removing him out of their lives? Quote, he got rid of his assistant, his best friend, after he was the best man at his wedding. Well, that seems more chaotic than like healthy and healing. The insider added that Pete became a ghost to his once tight circle of friends. They also alleged that checking into rehab in July led to him missing big work meetings. Quote, he's too much of a headache. He's really hard to deal with, not showing up to meetings, and then probably leaving Colin over here to deal with this sinking ship. Literally. Pete entered rehab just after his most recent breakup from his recent girlfriend, Madeline Klein. The source says that Pete and Madeline's relationship had just run its course and the breakup was civil after a year of dating. He's been dating around so much. I mean, for someone who is out here saying that he is mentally ill, I feel like he should just stay single for a while.
Just like previous blind items have predicted, Pete Davidson is no longer with Madeline Klein and has checked himself into a wellness facility after the blind items have alleged that he needs rehab. As I told you in this space several weeks ago, the former late-night actor was in bad shape and needed rehab. It was one of the reasons his most recent on-again, off-again relationship finally crashed and burned for good. And again, this allegedly Pete Davidson and Madeline Klein.
I hope that somebody in this rehab facility is telling him like, hey man, why don't you just like, stay single for a couple months or a couple years? I mean, jumping around from Ariana Grande to Kim Kardashian, I mean, he's got to have PTSD. The source adds that Pete will often check himself into rehab to work on these issues. And he is a perfect example of a celebrity who will literally cancel everything, canceling tour dates, missing meetings, very Chapel Roan. Like if his okay, I was gonna make I don't mean this in a mean way, but I mean like if he has a tummy ache, he's not coming. You know what I mean? So he's going to protect himself at all costs, which I wish I could learn a lesson from that, honestly. But I know that Pete isn't happy with the recent headlines saying that he will not be invited back to SNL. I mean, SNL is what made Pete Davidson. Pete and Colin's fallout went all the way to the top, and Lauren Michaels is the executive, and they've been made aware of the situation, so they're not bringing Pete back. Despite Pete being invited to host in the past, it's not looking like that comedian will be invited back anytime soon. Now, that's what SNL was leading with at the beginning of this season. But you guys know that Pete has some deep connections in Hollywood, including his good friend John Mulvaney. And it looks like Pete made a surprise appearance on SNL all because of John. Demoy actually revealed that Pete's people were pressing Michael Lauren for Pete to host, and he still might. Maybe they wanted his guest spot on John Mulvaney's episode to be a test run, but essentially there's this world where we've got some entertainers who are really vouching for Pete, but a lot of people who are at the core of SNL and do not want him present. Now, Demoy did put out a blind item suggesting that Pete is out of rehab and ready to date again, which I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy, give me a break. I mean, is this just the Hollywood machine? This blind item reads: a well-known comedian actor known for his comedic roles is back on the dating scene. He allegedly met a woman who caught his eye at the same restaurant he once took his A-list girlfriend to. Despite his attempts to proposition her, which included a low-key date and to avoid paparazzi, the woman politely declined. The comedian, Pete, wasn't amused by her rejection and stated something along the lines of, you know that I'm famous, right? I can't just go out. Allegedly, the actor is moving 2 hours away from New York City so he could have some peace and quiet, according to our source. One of my best friends, Christy Spilsage, did a reel about this, and we brought a little clip of her content in, so go ahead and check that out.
Pete Davidson made a surprise appearance on SNL this weekend, but Pete has not been on in a while, and he's also just stayed out of the public eye. So the audience tonight went absolutely nuts seeing that Pete was going to be part of a sketch, and he looked really happy to be there. And I hope that he guest appears more this season. I miss Pete on SNL.
Inside the Port Authority bus terminal, may I offer you a flu shot? Flu shot? Flu shot.
I think we're good.
So what is going on with Pete Davidson? There you go. I mean, it's pretty unpredictable as usual. Also, I don't know if you guys watch Spill Sesh. Comment below. Do you guys watch Spill Sesh? She's literally my real life best friend. I text her every single day. I'm going to go hang out with her today. We've got a literal show coming out next year. That's all I can say, because she's going to kill me if I say any more, because you guys know I'm a talker. Okay. I've got a letter from one of you guys. It's from Houston. I don't see the return name, so hopefully we have a name in here. Okay. The way I open letters is so oh my God, problematic. Why do I open letters like a child opening a Christmas present? Okay. Please join us. Oh no, I always get these invites and I feel like I'm not going to be anywhere near where you're inviting me. And has it passed already? Aw, October 20th. Woo! About a month ago. It's for a baby shower for Amy and Donnie in Texas. Thank you. You didn't write anything else. You just invited me to your baby shower. Well, congratulations on your baby and your shower. It was from 2 to 4. In Texas. That's very sweet. And I just don't know if there's anything else to be added. I think that's baby exam, in honor of baby exam. Oh, Exum. The name is Exum. The baby's name is Exum. Congratulations, baby Exum. And to Amy and Donnie. Oh, because your last name is Exum. Oh, cute. I wonder what the baby's name is. It's giving me your last name is giving me Elon Musk. Love that. I don't know if I was supposed to. I think I was supposed to get that right. It had my name. I had my address on it. It just didn't say anything else. Well, thank you. I think. I mean, I think it's a nice gesture. It's just when it doesn't come with a note, I'm just what? Was it for me? Do I know them? Do I know you guys? In high school or something? I didn't live in Texas. I never lived in Texas. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.